Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about those toxic ass people in your life. And yes, I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about your friends. I'm talking about your coworkers. I'm talking about those people that drain your energy. They just make you feel like crap afterwards. Maybe not all the time, because there's some good to it. But for the most part, you're like, that person doesn't make me feel good about myself when I leave. I'm drained. I'm exhausted. They're always Debbie Downer. They're always complaining. They're always the victim. They're always trying to manipulate. They're always trying to gaslight. They're lying to me. Any iteration of that. They maybe just do one of those things. They maybe do all of those. And I hope they don't. But they probably do one or two of those things. Let's identify what toxicity is for you in your life. So think about that. Think about those people. You know who you're thinking about. I know who I'm thinking about in my former life, because they don't exist in my life anymore. So who are those people? We know they're the ones that are not taking accountability. They're always blaming you for stuff. They're always, they're just victims consistently. So they can look like that. What looks like toxic behavior in your life? Number one. Number two, stop making excuses for them. Oh, she's just like that. Oh, that's how they've always been. Oh, it's because my standards are too high. You see how we do that? What? Like something's wrong with us? Nothing is wrong with us. Nothing, okay? Stop overlooking patterns and histories and trends. A duck is a duck is a duck. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And remember, you can still love someone, but realize that they're not safe for you. They're not good for you. They're not part of your empowered growth journey. Love can look differently, and your relationship can take different forms based off your growth. Now, this is the part that loses a lot of people because it's uncomfortable. It's awkward. You don't want to do it. You're worried about it. It stresses you out. Calling out the behavior directly. And we have to be careful because this is not to attack the person. This is not to have some blow up confrontation. This is absolutely not what I'm telling you. It's in a very calm, measured way, directly call out the toxic behavior. If the relationship is worth salvaging, there have been relationships in my past that I absolutely have called out the behavior on because I said, look, if I don't let them know, shame on me. They don't think there's anything wrong and I'm tolerating it. But if I've drawn a boundary and I don't want to tolerate this toxicity anymore, then it's on me to educate them because I do think it is worth saving and salvaging this relationship. Now, I have also very much not done that. I've said, that is toxic ass behavior. I don't need that person in my life. I literally delete their contact, block their number, and I'm done with it. Boom, the relationship is not worth salvaging. What you've brought in my life does not outweigh the good. In fact, the bad is kind of stressing me out. You gotta go. I don't tell them that, I just do it. Why? Because I don't need an explanation. I don't need an excuse. It doesn't work for me. You're out of here. So it's important to be specific about what you're not okay with. You don't have to soften it up to make them feel all like warm and fuzzy. It's not that I'm attacking you. It's not that I want to hurt your feelings, but no, honey. We don't apologize because we're doing nothing wrong. We don't explain ourselves. A boundary against toxicity is a very healthy boundary. Example, just in case you need one. I don't appreciate how you consistently do not take any accountability for your actions. It is not healthy for my life. I would encourage you to take a look at yourself and start having a conversation with yourself first, which then can have a conversation with me about what accountability looks like for you. When you are ready to do that, then I'm happy to meet you halfway. Otherwise, I don't think we need to continue this relationship the way it's going anymore. Friends, family, loved ones, business, etc. A relationship is a relationship, and these rules apply clearly across the board to all of them. Okay, now this is another one. If you get past this step, this next step is where we lose a lot of people. And I mean, we lose a lot of people who don't commit to blocking out toxicity. They fall right back into it. Set the boundary and define the consequence and follow through on that consequence. Like some of you have kids or nieces or nephews or, like little kids. If you hit your brother one more time, you're not going to get a cookie. He hits brother one more time, I give him a cookie. What the hell? That's not teaching anyone anything. That's no boundaries. That is encouraging behavior that we don't want to encourage, and we're not committing and following through. That's just an easy analogy to follow. Oh, but that's just kids, Gina. No, honey, that's the relationship in your life. That person that you're pursuing that is not giving you the time of day, that is not treating you the way you want to be treated. You're clinging on to them for dear life. They clearly could care less because they know you have no boundaries, so they use and abuse you the way they want to. That can't work anymore if you're going to have boundaries against somebody who's toxic. So when the toxic behavior presents, you call it out in a very calm measure and you let them know what the consequences will be. You lie to me one more time, I'm deleting your phone number. Oh my God, Gina, no, I can't do that. Then don't, because I did and I do, and I have a very fulfilled life for doing it. I have a very healthy circle of people around me. I have a very strong boundary about who is not in my life. Family, siblings, former friends. I don't call them friends anymore. People who were close to me. They're not anymore because I realized their toxic behavior was a detriment to me and was costing me my peace. And finally, be willing to create the distance you need from those toxic people. Identify what the toxic behavior it is. Address it if it's worth saving the relationship. Stick to the consequences that you've told them will happen if they continue with that behavior, and be okay with having some distance in that relationship. It might mean not returning calls. It might mean actually, not going on that trip. These are decisions you can absolutely make every single day, repeatedly. And in fact, you must. You must commit to this kind of conversation with yourself. Toxic behavior is only in your life because you have it there. I repeat, toxic behavior and toxic people are only in your life because you are allowing it. Now, if you are a minor or a child who is unfortunately stuck in a very toxic household, that's one thing. But I am not talking to those children. I am talking to you, a grown-up, an adult. Stop complaining about what you don't want. Stop complaining about what doesn't serve you, about what hurts you, about these people, they're not there for you. You are choosing to have the life you want to have by choosing the people you want in your life, the situations you have in your life, and what you will tolerate in your life.